Good morning and welcome to year number 5 of Pitt to the Point. I'm Ryan Tarabokia.
And I'm Lucy Landy. Pitt to the Point is your weekly, 1-hour, Emmy Award-nominated news and magazine program that airs live from the state-of-the-art Pitt studios.
Pitt to the Point covers everything from the University of Pittsburgh to the City of Pittsburgh, as well as national and international events, news, people, and stories.
We're back with your favorite segments, such as Alumni Spotlight and Clubbing at Pitt, which showcases one of our amazing student-run organizations.
We'll feature stories from our incredible University of Pittsburgh regional campuses and tell you the top headlines from our neighborly journalists in arms, the Pitt News.
And we'll be joined live by our affiliate college and high school partners and their student anchors who will tell you what's going on in their schools and communities. Now we're statewide, from Pittsburgh to Lancaster to Philadelphia.
And of course, we'll continue to bring you the most up-to-date news from the world of politics, sports, business and technology, medicine, and entertainment in the city of Pittsburgh and at the University of Pittsburgh. Congress failed to pass legislation to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Disagreements over immigration and customs enforcement, also known as ICE reforms, have resulted in the third government shutdown in the past 4 months.
The killings of Renee Macklin Good and Alex Preddy prompted Democrats to push harder for body cameras, judicial warrants, and a ban of facial coverings for ICE officers. This led to a 4-day partial government shutdown at the end of January.
The White House and Senate Democrats then agreed to fund the majority of agencies until September, while implementing a 2-week stopgap for DHS to continue ICE negotiations. The government reopened, but the 2-week deadline has since passed with no consensus.
DHS officially shut down February 14th. Impacted government agencies include ICE, Customs and Border Protection, the Transportation Security Administration, Coast Guard, and disaster relief. However, ICE and ZBP are projected to be largely unaffected due to allocations from the One Big Beautiful Bill.
Currently, Congress is out of session until next week. Nevertheless, lawmakers and the public continue to discuss the impact of ICE and possible reforms.
With more on what this means at the national, state, and local level, we have political reporter Maxine Van Nortwick. Maxine?
ICE activity is increasing across the United States under President Donald Trump, and Pennsylvanians who disagree with this policy are looking to speak out about it. From Harrisburg to Springdale, protests and legislative actions are how people are making their voices heard. Viewers should be warned with the next segment, some content may be graphic.
As ICE fears and sightings rise around the country, Pennsylvanians are speaking out. The increase in ICE and detention centers were discussed in a letter from Governor Josh Shapiro to DHS Secretary Kristi Noem sent last week. In it, Shapiro addressed DHS's plans to build immigration detention centers from warehouse facilities in the Berks and Schuylkill counties, saying his administration will, quote, aggressively pursue every option to prevent these facilities from opening and needlessly harming the good people of Pennsylvania.
They undermine the economic growth that we're seeing across this Commonwealth. I think they compromise people's safety. And I think there are very, very serious questions as to whether our infrastructure can even handle this.
Closer to home in Pittsburgh, ICE activity is at the forefront of many people's minds, especially with recent detainment sightings in Wilkinsburg and Homestead just this week, as reported by Frontline Dignity. Outrage has also been sparked following the detainment of Randy Cordova Flores, a Springdale man who was initially pulled over for a traffic stop. On February 14th, a rally for love meant to show support for Cordova Flores was held in Springdale, arranged in part by community organizer Amy Sarno.
And all our purpose was we just wanted to show up with signs, with flags to say, we love you, we love our neighbors. And that was the mission going in.
Despite the joy and love Sarno says was abundant at the protest, headlines were made after a passing motorist provoked demonstrators and allegedly punched one of them.
The man driving by, threatening attendees as they all calmly stood on the sidewalk with their signs, and then stopping his car to show some physical presence and aggression. That was handled very quickly. It was over, I want to say, within 3 to 5 minutes, very early on in the protest, and honestly really forgotten about, I think, by many people there, outside of the people who were really affected on that side of the street and screamed at and threatened. But it was not a large part of the day.
After the rally, demonstrators continued to fight for their mission during the Tuesday night Springdale Borough meeting, where they spoke out against 287G agreements.
This is great. You showed up and held a sign on Saturday, but you have to go and speak at this meeting. And people did, including young people. So that was exciting. There was really no response from the council or anyone there. But, we have to hope that things were heard, and we have to keep encouraging people to write and keep showing up.
Members of both the Springdale community and larger Pittsburgh area came out to support Cordova Flores and the Rally of Love. When asked about this show of support, Sarno said,
"It's overwhelming."
Demonstrations across Pittsburgh have continued, including a Wednesday walkout at Taylor Alderdice High School in Squirrel Hill, where students condemned the actions of ICE. For Pitt to the Point, I'm political reporter Maxine Van Norwick. Ryan, Lucy?
Thank you, Maxine. With tensions rising across the country, it may feel difficult to find your people.
That's why we love our next segment, where we can school you on organizations that help build up your community while strengthening the one that's already around us.
This week on Clubbing at Pitt, it's Breakthrough.
So Breakthrough is a tutoring organization that tutors underserved middle school and high school students and prepares them for college. We tutor things like the SAT, math, science, English, languages, anything that the tutor will be comfortable in and that the tutee wants to learn. I wanted to get involved because I wanted to make an impact on a student's life, especially these students are underprivileged and don't have the same amount of resources that some of us have. I really wanted to make an impact on the community and help people. So this is like middle school and high school, so I had knowledge on like all the different subjects like science and math and English, so I decided to tutor just anything that the tutee was comfortable in wanting to learn. So we're doing Pitt Day of Giving, which is soon. I think it's February 24th. So please donate. It'll help our tutors have resources to tutor and different things that we need to help our tutees in. So just helping with that, different snacks, different events that we have going on. I really enjoy seeing the students have like a light bulb moment, really understanding the concept. Sometimes after a session they may not get it, but then in the next session they start understanding it. I really like drawing, like having different colored pencils and drawing things out for them and helping them really understand the concept. It's just really rewarding seeing them understand it and really feeling happy at the end of the session. We have done Super Saturdays. It's where we meet all the tutees and we have a day with them. We talk about our college majors, what college is like, and then they ask questions about that. And we have a rotating workshop where people of different majors get to talk about their majors. So I did the biology one, and we did Mythbusters. So we did what was false and what was real about science. And we took them on tours around the campus, which is really fun too. To be involved, we have an Instagram account. It's Breakthrough at Pitt, and we also have a website. So on that, you can click on our link tree, and that'll get you to our GroupMe. And our GroupMe has all the information. You can also email us, breakthroughatpitt@gmail.com, and that can get you all the information you need to know.
Staying connected with your community starts with being able to get around it. And the City of Pittsburgh has something in the works to get that done a little more sustainably.
Once spring has sprung, we may see a few more cyclists on the road. For more, our City Beat reporter, Michaela Albers, has the story. Michaela?
Transportation changes are coming to the Oakland area. The Contraflow bus lane on 5th Avenue has been retired, and the 9 bus lines have been permanently moved to Forbes Avenue. The bus lane will be turned into a bidirectional protected bike lane, ensuring safety and accessibility to pedestrians and cyclists.
Oakland's always been a challenging place. It's one of the highest pedestrian dense neighborhoods in the city. There, a lot of people who live there don't own a car. They rely on biking, walking, transit to get around. However, you also have 2 pretty busy highway-like roads that go right through the center of Oakland, namely 5th and Forbes Avenue. If anything, Oakland has sort of proven that those roads are a bit overbuilt in the first place. in a place like that, you really need to take extra special attention to those that are outside of motor vehicles to make sure that they are safe. People, might not realize that, the bike lanes that on Forbes Avenue that connect Pitt to CMU, that used to be 4 lanes for cars, and they added the bike lanes, and car use actually decreased with the benefit of reduced crashes. Overall, it's going to have a better effect on on people's mobility. As far as the future bike lanes go, those bus lanes have been used as a de facto bike lane. People weren't allowed to bike in it, but they did because it's where they felt the safest, and it kind of helped them get where they needed to go. So it's only going to make it easier for people by formalizing that. As far as the future with the bike lanes, we are trying to understand exactly when they plan to open, but we are beginning talks with organizations like Oakland Transportation Management Association and other stakeholders to help promote the bike lanes once they do go in, so people understand how to use them, safe bicycling. We imagine it's going to have an increase in bicycling traffic on there, which might be a lot more newer riders. So we do a lot of education stuff. In Pittsburgh, we got our first protected bike lanes that are similar to this in 2014, which were on Penn Avenue in downtown Pittsburgh. And since then, the city has put in a lot more, and we're able to point to that project as a success, which it is. It's still kind of newish, so it helps justify this kind of treatment for future projects.
The project is anticipated to be completed by 2027, and many Pittsburgh residents are excited to see what other projects are to follow. For Pitt to the Point, I'm City Beat reporter Michaela Albers. Ryan, Lucy?
Well, as people zip through bike lanes, we're here zipping through stories.
And don't leave just yet. This week may have been a little cloudy weather-wise, but multiple cultures sprung into something new.
All this and more up next on Pitt to the Point.
Someone a long time ago had an idea that we could change the way we do things. What if you had over 30,000 big thinkers and believers behind you, and $1 billion in research to make it happen? With a will that never quits in a city connected to everything. Well, you'd probably find yourself doing something truly incredible.
This morning, you take your place in this honored tradition. You take your place in a time of great challenge and even greater opportunity.
Community comes at the cost of your comfort zone. You don't just stumble upon community in college, you create it. I hope that your journey outside of your comfort zone eventually leads you to a community that welcomes you exactly as you are. Class of 2029, whatever you're feeling right now, I hope that sometime soon you feel at home.
Congratulations, class of 2029, and good luck to you as you begin your journey.
Thank you for tuning back in to Pitt to the Point. Happen to watch a story today that piques your curiosity? Want to find out more about what's going on in Pittsburgh? Visit our website.
That's right. If you want to find out more about the world of politics, medicine, business, technology, and more, log on to pittothepoint.com.
Not only can you see clips from today's show, but you can also read about the topics that interest you and more. Check it out at pittothepoint.com. This week was an important one for a multitude of different religions and cultures.
Not only is this week the Lunar New Year, but also was the key starting point of two marquee religious observance periods. For Christians, it's Lent, and for Muslims, it's Ramadan.
Lunar New Year, Ramadan, and Lent all began this past week. For the first time since 1863, they are all taking place at the same time. This won't happen again until the year 2189. The Lunar New Year began February 17th, marking the start of the Year of the Fire Horse. The holiday follows the lunar calendar and is celebrated across several Asian countries with traditions focused on renewal and good fortune. Here at the University of Pittsburgh, the Vietnamese Student Association and the Chinese American Student Association hosted a celebration featuring dragon dances, Lunar New Year trivia, live performances, and more. In addition to the Lunar New Year, on February 17th at sunset, Ramadan began, with the first full day of fasting observed on the 18th. I was able to speak with a Pitt student who is currently observing Ramadan to learn a little bit more about it.
So Ramadan is a month where we fast during the whole month, but it's not like fasting 24 hours. It's like we fast from sunrise to sunset. It's like considered a month of blessings and a month where if you do any good deed, it is like multiplied 100 times. One of the main confusions about Ramadan that people have is like what it gives you in return, right? So it's mainly about, you get a month where you're teaching yourself self-control, right? So if you can control yourself from accessing such basic needs, it means that you can, control yourself from doing any major big sin as well, any major bad thing as well. So it kind of helps you achieve your discipline. This is the month where you can teach yourself that, if I can restrain myself from the basic needs, I can definitely restrain myself from the other stuff as well.
Finally, Lent began on Ash Wednesday the 18th. This marks the start of a 40-day period of prayer and fasting for Christians leading up to Easter. Many people observe Lent by giving something up between Ash Wednesday and Easter Sunday, and on Fridays, many local churches and communities host fish fries as part of the tradition.
Now, here at Pitt, it is more than just the hard work of Pitt to the Point that delivers you news.
The Pitt News is our university's finest, bringing you news all across the University of Pittsburgh and the world. Let's see what our fellow journalists have for this week.
A hotspot music venue in Oakland has been shut down. On February 4th, Haven was shut down in Oakland. Haven was an independent music video run by the Post genre. They announced that all festivities would be suspended for the future on their Instagram. I know many local musicians are feeling the loss, along with the Oakland residents. Haven received a stop work order from the City of Pittsburgh Department Permits, Licenses, and Inspections. Haven's Instagram had put out a post sharing that day that they have been working with the Pittsburgh Innovation District and their landlord for over 2 years to now keep their proper permitting. Volunteers say that Haven does not expect to reopen in the near future. Studies are now showing that artificial intelligence is an A+ law student. AI's newest model, called O3, received grades ranging from A+ to B on 8 spring finals given by the University of Maryland. The question that everyone seems to be asking is, if AI can do it, why do lawyers still matter? Will the evolution of AI continue to have an impact on education and our daily lives? Guess we will find out.
February is Black History Month and is not only key to highlight the success of African Americans nationwide, but also those who support the success of African American businesses.
Here in the city of Pittsburgh, the Greenwood Plan is doing just that. For more, we turn to our business and tech reporter, Farah Hindawi. Farah?
Thank you, Ryan and Lucy. You cannot have a Petri dish without the culture. Well, the Petri dish in question is the Greenwood Plan and its partner, the Emerald City, which aims to provide assistance to Black business owners and creatives. So come along, let's go celebrate Black History Month by looking at the gears behind some of the few examples of Black innovation here in the city of Pittsburgh.
The Greenwood Plan is like Pittsburgh's premier Black business library, is what we call it. We help Black businesses find resources, and resources find Black businesses.
Emerald City is a co-working space that helps support entrepreneurs, especially Black entrepreneurs, and Black professionals in the city of Pittsburgh. So not only is this just a space, but this is also a movement, a mission. Like I said, the Black businesses and smaller businesses on a scale that helps them sustain their business years and years to come, generational. Just regular mail, or if there's someone downtown and they search caterer near me, this will be one of the first addresses that pop up.
We do a lot of partnership with this space, which is Emerald City. We say Emerald City is the place, Greenwood Plan is the thing. Some initiatives that we've done so far is we've connected business owners with opportunities for like pop-up shops. One of our properties, like downstairs, business owners, they could apply to move into this space and test out their business idea. We have quite a few businesses already in this building, like Pear Charcuterie, which is a coffee shop and a charcuterie shop. They're also opening up a pop-up shop where you could make charcuterie workshops. One of the biggest barriers that Black businesses face in this city is access to information, because it feels like everyone is a gatekeeper, and we're like, no, we want everyone to win. Information should be free and accessible to everyone. And you would think that that would be like something so simple and easy, but it is not. And also because of that barrier of access to information, that means there's a lot of the times a barrier of access.
That we always have to be held strong in home. You have to be strong, whether you have children, you have family. And then at work, you have to be strong. You have to be able to take more of those microaggressions. But then to have a third space allows you to be free, allows you to like let your shoulders down. The social hour every second Friday of the month. So that is a place where guests can come in and it's a more relaxed environment. And then just coming in here throughout the day just to maybe eat lunch, or if you're meeting with a client, maybe stay over and you just are able to sit down and have a conversation with someone.
I see it as a necessity, especially I feel like a lot of people, and a lot of Black people in general, we don't read the policies that are being brought forward, especially in a political landscape. And a lot of times those policies, especially like the big, beautiful bill that passed last year, there's so many things tucked away in it, and it's so overwhelming that being able to read the policies and tell people why they should care and what about it affects them is of great importance.
Space, inclusion, belonging, and camaraderie are one of the many things you can experience as a Black business owner with the Greenwood Plan and the Emerald City. But just remember, Pittsburgh can only be a city of innovation until it includes everybody in it. For Pitt to the Point, I'm business and tech reporter Farah Hindawi. Ryan, Lucy?
Well, we are officially halfway done with the show, just over 30 minutes away from the final buzzer.
And just like the USA women's hockey team, we will come in clutch to bring you even more news right after the break.
I'm so honored and humbled to officially welcome you to the University of Pittsburgh.
Never in our 238-year history has a Pitt education been so much in demand. It's possible at Pitt is not just something we say when you walk in the door. hail to each of you, hail to possible, and hail to Pitt.
You are why we believe it's possible at Pitt.
We each became a part of something larger than ourselves.
Paige Allen.
Thank you.
This morning, you take your place in this honored tradition. You take your place in a time of great challenge and even greater opportunity.
Community comes at the cost of your comfort zone. You don't just stumble upon community in college, you create it. I hope that your journey outside of your comfort zone eventually leads you to a community that welcomes you exactly as you are. Class of 2029, whatever you're feeling right now, I hope that sometime soon you feel at home.
Congratulations, class of 2029, and good luck to you as you begin your journey.
You all know we love highlighting our college and high school partners, especially as they take the next big steps into the broadcasting world.
That's why we're excited to announce that this is our next guest, first time on Pitt to the Point. Please welcome the anchors from Waynesboro Area High School, Bella Cartwright and Blake Jones.
How are you guys feeling?
Great. Thank you, Ryan and Lucy. As you heard, I'm Bella Cartwright.
And I'm Blake Jones.
And we are honored for the opportunity to go live on Pitt to the Point and to highlight a community event hosted by our athletic department.
A few weeks ago, this is a basketball game that the entire community comes together to watch. All of the elementary schools come out to support the players, and there is always a huge turnout.
Our classmate, Carly Smith, put together footage from a collaborative project on Pack the House, which showcases our schools, community, and athletics.
Pack the House Night is a Washes event that happens annually, bringing together community members of all ages.
Earlier in the week, basketball players handed out pins which served as tickets to the game.
We're all going to yell as loud as we can. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
And a pep rally hyped up high school students with a variety of activities.
Created in 2010 by JV coach Richie Davis, Pack the House started as a night to highlight boys basketball, and through the years the event has grown to highlight both boys and girls JV varsity teams. On Friday night, students from all 5 elementary schools, the middle school and high school, came out to literally pack the house, filling the gym with school spirit, cheers, and camaraderie. The evening included mascots, face painting, spaghetti dinner, a halftime shootout, and a contest for the most spirited school, with the Fairview Falcons taking home the trophy. It was a night of borough pride and celebration.
My favorite part, I have to say our team making lots of scores.
Pack the House was born out of 2 desires. First and foremost, I wanted to build school spirit throughout the district, which would ultimately achieve my second desire in providing a unique atmosphere for the boys basketball team.
The students of Waynesboro are lucky to have a community event such as this. Ryan, Lucy?
So much. So yeah, now that the events kind of started in 2010, do y'all have any memories of being in elementary school at Pack the House?
Yes, actually, I remember winning the most spirited trophy for Summit View Elementary when I was a Shark, and I just remember everyone was so excited about it.
That's awesome.
Now, so what does this event mean for you guys and your school spirit?
It's neat to see so many people of all ages coming together to support our teams. High school students serve as role models for the younger fans, and parents get to cheer together as well. Ryan, Lucy?
That's so awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. You did amazing.
So now that we've been all the way to Waynesboro, I think we can take a stop in Bradford.
That's good to hear, as we have our regional campus reporter, Nathan Newbar, here to tell us a story that's kind of a travel. Nathan?
The University of Pittsburgh at Bradford is coming off their best season in program history. Despite losing their coach in the offseason, they put together a really strong season in the 25-26 campaign. Now, you would think that they would be putting together another run for an AMCC championship. However, a recent AMCC ruling shows that that's not going to be the case.
The University of Pittsburgh at Bradford men's basketball team was gearing up to make a run in the Allegheny Mountain Collegiate Conference tournament with the hopes of making the NCAA tournament for a second straight season. However, they've been ruled ineligible for postseason play due to playing an ineligible player. The ineligible player failed to maintain the academic requirements needed to be eligible to compete per NCAA rules during the fall semester of 2025. Now, while the NCAA does not have an exact GPA requirement to compete, they must be in academic good standing, which the student athlete failed to do. The team was not made aware of this issue until late last week and immediately reported it to the AMCC and NCAA. The conference then informed the school of their decision to rule the team ineligible on Tuesday, February 17th. The team is also required to vacate all wins since the beginning of the 2026 spring semester. The Panthers were building momentum and had just defeated the number 1 seed Penn State Barron on the road. With one game left to play in the regular season, the Panthers were slated to be the 4th seed and host the 5th seed Hilbert College, with the chance to square off against Penn State Barron again to advance to the league championship game. Now, the new 4th seed Hilbert is shaping up to host Penn State Altoona, and Carlow University will make the jump into the tournament, securing their first AMCC tournament appearance in program history. In an email sent out to players and faculty, President Richard Esch stated, "We feel very badly for our hardworking players and coaches who have been putting together a strong season, but also recognize the importance of the rules and policies that are in place to support our student athletes and maintain the integrity of intercollegiate athletics overall. We accept the AMCC's decision, and moving forward, we'll conduct a thorough review of our processes to address any identified gaps and ensure this type of issue does not occur in the future." Pitt Bradford has already started the process to appeal the decision.
We reached out to the commissioner's office and the UPB athletic department, and we'll update you on this story when we get information. Now, we'll turn you over to James Carter, our city sports reporter, who will give you information on teams that are actually eligible for their tournament. For Pitt to the Point, I'm regional sports reporter Nathan Newbar. James?
The United States women's hockey team were aided in their efforts by 4 members of the Pittsburgh Penguins elite program, those being goaltenders Ava McNaughton and Gwyneth Phillips, along with forwards Layla Edwards and Hannah Bilka. McNaughton is a native of Seven Fields, Pennsylvania, and is actually the first Pittsburgh area resident to win gold at the Winter Olympics since the events began in 1924. I had a chance to speak with Kathy Pippi, who traveled with the team and their families to Milan and helped develop and scout the players into the icons that they would become.
I'm currently an advisor to the Pittsburgh Penguins Elite, which is technically I'm an advisor to the Pittsburgh Penguins who oversee the Pittsburgh Penguins Elite, and I'm an advisor to them on exclusively girls hockey related matters. So I help the program kind of guide them, help identify players that might be good candidates for the program, but also help the current players as they're looking to move on and get scholarships for college hockey. And so I work with the families and the team. All of these ladies are role models for those girls back in Pittsburgh. And, it kind of makes a connection because they're not that much older. And it's like, there's that connection where they can see it. And it's sort of like the saying, if you can see it, you can be it. And, they think like, wow, she was just playing in our organization, 5 years ago. And so, they can see that and, maybe they knew of them when they were young and in the organization, but now they've grown up and seeing them as role models. And certainly Layla has taken on the responsibility that, to be a person of color and to be the first Black woman to ever play for Team USA. She didn't have any Black role models in hockey when she was growing up. And so for her, it's really been amazing to see that transition, that she really takes it seriously and wants to be a good role model. And actually, one of the greatest things I saw was just a little white girl was just so excited to meet Layla, and it transcends race or, but it is like hockey is not a traditional, it's not a traditionally Black sport. So for her to be able to do that and to take on the role seriously, it's really been amazing to watch that team and Team USA. They all really like each other. They have good camaraderie. They support each other, whether they're playing or not playing at that moment. And it's really great to see the maturation of these, girls into now ladies.
In other Olympic news, Canadian captain Sidney Crosby was injured in the team's matchup earlier this week against Team Czechia. His status is currently unknown, but the team is optimistic that he will be able to play in the semifinal matchup later today. And of course, Team USA won gold yesterday over heated rival Team Canada 2-1, with Megan Keller scoring the golden goal in overtime. Layla Edwards also made history this Olympics, becoming the first Black woman to compete and win gold with the United States team. For Pitt to the Point, I'm City Sports reporter James Carter. Ryan, Lucy.
Wow, sports have just been dominating the show so far. I wonder what else we could talk about.
Yeah, I think more sports. Stay tuned for broken records, rising ranks, and a heartwarming polar plunge. All that and more, only on Pitt to the Point.
What if you had over 30,000 big thinkers and believers behind you? In a city connected to everything? Well, you'd probably find yourself doing something truly incredible.
Can you hear me?
This is interesting.
Is this on? Can y'all see me?
Do I just talk?
Pitt basketball beating WVU in the backyard brawl.
Favorite Pitt memories running out during the backyard brawl.
Pitt's a beautiful place. I'm graduating in a couple weeks. I'm really sad about it. I really am so grateful for the time I've had here.
My favorite Pitt memory was defending my thesis this year.
And ever since the first day of classes, we've been friends because we're directionally challenged. My favorite memory was all the times I spent with my friends.
I should do it.
Working on a movie with one of my good friends.
My favorite Pitt memory was winning backyard brawl at like the last second because I was going to leave.
Going to the Pitt volleyball games and seeing them beat Penn State and Louisville and all the people.
My favorite memory is the photo shoot we just had for the ballet club at Pitt.
My favorite Pitt memory this year was winning the backyard brawl. H2P, baby.
And I just finished my last German class and I started tearing up because after 5 years we finally did it. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorites. It's like nice out, it's beautiful, and I'm like so happy. Bye!
This morning, you take your place in this honored tradition. You take your place in a time of great challenge and even greater opportunity.
Community comes at the cost of your comfort zone. You don't just stumble upon community in college, you create it. I hope that your journey outside of your comfort zone eventually leads you to a community that welcomes you exactly as you are. Class of 2029, whatever you're feeling right now, I hope that sometime soon you feel at home.
Congratulations, class of 2029, and good luck to you as you begin your
Not too foreign of a feeling.
But for women's lacrosse, a program only in its 4th season, a ranking is an achievement for the history books.
After stunning 14th ranked Duke's lacrosse team 7-10, Pitt's women's lacrosse team was voted 25th best in the country by the Intercollegiate Women's Lacrosse Coaches Association.
Pitt started the season 2-0, opening the season with a win away at Ohio State, following up with the win against the aforementioned Duke. Junior Caitlin Giandonato was voted IWLCA Offensive Player of the Week, as well as ACC Co-Offensive Player of the Week. Despite an overtime loss to number 23 Penn State, the Panthers hope to find even more success in their already historic season.
Now, it may only be the start of 2026, but somehow women's lacrosse isn't the only addition to Pitt's record books.
This Pitt record breaker is a hometown kid who managed to do something that fewer than 1,000 Americans have been able to achieve. For more, we'll send you over to Pitt sports reporter Colin Ferguson. Colin?
This weekend was a record-breaking one for the University of Pittsburgh as senior track athlete Luke Simpson became the first ever Panther to run a mile in under 4 minutes. This record was previously held for 20 years at just over the 4-minute mark. I got a chance to sit with the hometown native and speak with him about what it was like to become part of this illustrious group, as well as become immortalized in his own home city.
And we are rocking and rolling heat number 2. Once again, the top 7 in the opening heat under 4 minutes.
It means the most, especially because I was born and raised in the area. I've been, tied to the university for a while, and it just is kind of special, being here as a student and then being able to represent the university athletically. I think what makes it significant is kind of like what makes almost anything significant is that it ends up being a bit of an exclusive club. There's just not a lot of people who have done it. I think maybe fewer than 1,000 Americans. So that's really what makes it special. That's what makes it a goal for kids in high school, kids in college. And it's just something that a lot of people always have in their mind once they start to get to that level. And, whether you are a runner who is either recreationally or you're not even a runner, it's just kind of in your head, you can realize, it took 8, 9, 10 years of hard work. So whatever that would scale to and whatever their, hobby or profession is, helps them put it in perspective. Helped me, I didn't wear down the body when I was younger. I was able to really come to college and then begin working really hard. But I don't know, if anyone tells you they really, really enjoy running and all the training days, they may be lying. I think that there's going to be a lot of hard days out there. I'd be willing to sacrifice 3-4 days a week that don't always feel great. Now, some days you are going to feel great, but sacrifice those days in order to get the days where you're competing. It really helps you in all aspects of life, keeping yourself disciplined.
Back in the number 3 spot, that is Luke Simpson from Pitt. To the line, 3:53 on the clock. Folks, we're going to add at least 4 more to our sub-4 list today.
In other news from university athletics, the Pitt men's basketball team has suffered yet another blow on their season as sophomore guard Brandon Biba Cummings has been ruled out for the remainder of the year due to injury. Cummings has been the Panthers' leading point scorer so far this year and has also been battling an ankle injury since early November, which has sidelined him for multiple games already. Pitt head coach Jeff Capel announced yesterday that Cummings would undergo a season-ending procedure on his ankle to ensure that he would be more rested and well-prepared for next year's campaign. From Pitt to the Point, I'm Pitt sports reporter Colin Ferguson. Ryan, Lucy?
Now, don't let it slip your mind that the Panthers women's lacrosse team has set a new standard for years to come.
And our alumni spotlight was there when it all began. Our alumni spotlight this week is highlighting Pitt's first ever women's lacrosse captain, Therese Pittman.
My name is Therese Pittman. I use she, her pronouns, and I currently serve as the Director for Student Athlete Development here at the University of Pittsburgh. I have my undergraduate bachelor's degree from Siena College and my master's from Pitt in public administration. I also am pursuing my doctorate in education here at Pitt as well. So I was hoping to earn a Division I scholarship to play lacrosse, and that's what had happened. So I ended up starting my career at Binghamton University. After my sophomore year, ended up transferring to Siena College. And then because of COVID, I had an extra year of eligibility. And so I went into the transfer portal, and that's when I received the call from head coach Emily Bossino to come and help play and start the inaugural lacrosse program at the University of Pittsburgh, and I could not say no to that. So I came to Pitt to play lacrosse, to get my master's degree, and I was so excited to pave the way for more women in sports to come through the inaugural program. Big claps to our women's lacrosse program for being ranked in the top 25 right now. That is an incredible feat. I feel incredibly honored and proud to be a very small part of the Pitt women's lacrosse legacy. I came back to Pitt after a year of working at the NCAA and worked in student affairs for some time before popping back up here to the athletic department. And I always say that this is my dream job, and I couldn't be happier to be in this position today. Every week and every day looks so different, and I wouldn't change it or want it any other way. I would say one day I might be meeting with student athletes to review their resumes, apply for graduate school, or maybe prepare them for interviews that they have coming up. The next day I might be facilitating a leadership workshop. The next day I could be grabbing coffee with an alumni to talk about how they want to be involved with life skills and giving back to our student athletes. There's a lot of different avenues that we take to prepare our student athletes, but I will say that each one has a very different path, and it would be unfair to treat them all the same way. And so at Pitt, we're very proud to be able to meet one-on-one with every single student athlete and tailor their 4-year experience to where they're at and what they need.
Lucy, one of my favorite things about the Olympics is we get to see teams and athletes come from all over the world and compete on the biggest stage, representing who they are.
And what's even better about the Olympics is that all athletes get to represent. And here at Pitt, the Special Olympics Club is doing more than compete. They inspire. With more, return to our Pitt beat reporter, Natalie Fogel. Natalie?
Special Olympics is one of the world's largest sports organizations for anyone with an intellectual disability. Here at Pitt, we have a club for the organization for anyone with an intellectual disability over the age of 18 in the Pittsburgh region to become an athlete. This club is a great way for Pitt students to get involved in the Pittsburgh community while also getting to build inclusion and connections.
I just like my favorite memories being with all my friends, meeting a lot of new people.
So the purpose of Special Olympics is to foster a more inclusive community, to bring in the athletes closer to the Pitt students, and just to foster like a more inclusive environment. We've seen a lot of the athletes here for like many years before I joined Pitt, and also since I've been here. And it's been really nice to see kind of everyone grow together, like the Pitt students and the athletes. We started off as a very small club, so it's been really nice to see it expand over the years.
I really wanted to get connected with other students at the University of Pittsburgh as well as the community around Pittsburgh, and this was a great opportunity to meet families and athletes that are involved within the Pitt community as well as other students. We have a great turnout of not just undergrad students but also grad students.
We have around like 40 to 50 people coming in for our meetings every week.
I think overall it's been nice to see the athletes get more comfortable with playing sports over the course of Special Olympics. I've been involved for 4 years, so it's been cool to see them get better at like volleyball and basketball, as well as like get more comfortable with each other. It's been cool to see like athletes becoming friends. So overall, it's been nice to see like the athletes get more involved with like Pitt students and us like connect with the community.
It's impacted me a lot. I started when I was a freshman. I didn't come knowing anyone here. I didn't bring any friends with me, so it was kind of like a very unique experience, just meeting other students and athletes like organically and just trying to like make those connections. I've been in it for 3 years now, and it's just been wonderful. I look forward to seeing everyone. We see athletes like every week. It's a really close bond, as well as with the other students. Everyone's very close and supportive, so I'll see them like in class, or I'll see some like people out getting food, and it's just really nice that we support each other.
I think overall, a favorite moment I've had across like many different athletes would be them finally like mastering like a certain shot or like volleyball pass that they've been working on for a few weeks. So it's just really nice to see them finally like achieve that goal, and then like the whole crowd is like cheering for them. Everyone's super happy. They're super happy.
I would say my favorite part about the club is just having a relationship with the athletes. There's one in particular that is always really excited to see me, and I'm also really excited to see them every week.
My favorite moment was probably Polar Plunge last year.
Polar Plunge is kind of like a yearly event that we do to raise money for Special Olympics overall as a whole, like as a organization. So essentially we go to Acrisure Stadium and then we jump into the super cold water every year, and it's really nice that we're able to help raise money for the cause since we're so connected to it and we have our own club here at Pitt. So it's just nice to kind of like share the word about how important Special Olympics is for like athletes and just raise more money and awareness to make sure that these programs can continue for a while onwards.
We had a great turnout of members and athletes come, and we supported the community of Pittsburgh as a whole with the Special Olympics program. And we just came down to the Acrisure Stadium, jumped in the really cold water. Luckily, I don't think anyone got sick, but it was great to fundraise and just have it go towards something bigger.
Good job.
Thanks.
This year, the Polar Plunge will be held on Saturday, February 28th at Acrisure Stadium yet again. Registration is still open for anyone who wants to donate or sign up to support and get to know the community. For Pitt to the Point, I'm Pitt Beat reporter Natalie Fogel. Ryan, Lucy.
Now, before we go into break, we want to highlight someone very special here at Pitt to the Point.
Someone who is not only a good friend of mine, but a key cog in the broadcasting engine here at Pitt.
Nico Bettini was set to be part of Pitt to the Point this semester up until he received his cancer diagnosis this winter. The thing is, cancer went after the wrong guy.
Everyone here at Pitt to the Point is sending our love to Nico and his family, and knows that cancer does not and will not define who you are or your journey. We will always support you, and when you're done beating the brakes off of cancer, you'll be behind a mic where you belong in no time. All love, Nico. Well, if for some weird reason you miss a segment from Pitt to the Point or miss the show altogether, don't fret. We've got a website for that. The Pitt to the Point website, pittothepoint.com, has all of your favorite stories from politics to sports to entertainment, plus plenty more.
On top of that, we also have exclusive articles from your favorite Pitt to the Point personalities. Go check out the website today.
The centuries-old practice of yoga allows an escape through meditation and relaxation. In fact, practiced correctly, yoga can lead to Shanti, which means peace.
Our Pitt to the Point entertainment reporter found an award-winning yoga studio that gives the term downward dog a whole new meaning.
My name's Megan Whitman, and I own Black Hat Yoga Studio. Well, I just started reaching out to different rescues in the area. Puppy yoga, the focus does tend to go a little bit more on the puppies, which is okay. They're super cute. But I always tell people, especially if, they might only be coming out for this, that it's okay and it's a great starting point for yoga because they have that opportunity to kind of just hang out on their mats with the puppies. And then when, they are catching back up with us, it's a pretty beginner level class. 70% of the proceeds go to the rescue. They use that for medical bills, for food. They're not really getting funding from the state or city or anything like that. So I know that all of their dogs are adopted out, spayed, neutered, microchipped. They have their rabies shots, their distemper shots, and those really add up. In my field, yoga, a lot of people understand yoga as just the poses that we do, maybe some meditation or breath work. When you dive deeper into yoga, you're not really doing it properly if you're not looking out for your neighbors and giving back to the community and really just trying to stand up for the little guy. So that is important to me for that reason, just keeping all the foundations of yoga present in what we're doing. But then, like I said, I was also a vet tech for 10 years. Animals are my first love. I keep it lighthearted. There's going to be times where I have to pause because all the attention is on a puppy, but that's okay because I want to check out what's going on too. Doing whatever feels right. Like I said, we just did sword yoga. We've done stuff with drag queens. We've done kitty yoga, puppy yoga. The list goes on and on. But yeah, I'm never really saying no to anything. We have such sweet, loyal clients who took us all the way to the top with Trib Live, Best of the Best. We won Best Yoga Studio 2003, 2004, and 2025, thanks to our awesome, loyal clients. That's Sunday. That was one of our first events that we ever created. We have that coming up March 1st. I do a 1 hour restorative class where people are just very comfortable. They have bolsters, blankets, all the fun props. People come looking like they're moving in with their whole bedroom. Sometimes it's awesome.
Now, I don't know about you, Lucy, but outside of the new rec center, I would have to consider the Cathedral of Learning one of my favorite spots on campus, especially when I'm trying to get a cool Instagram story in.
Well, it is a favorite for students and anyone visiting the university. So let's take you on a little tour of Kathy on a snow day.
Just like Pitt's women's lacrosse and Luke Simpson, today's episode of Pitt to the Point is in the books.
It is always our pleasure to bring you the inside scoop on everything in and around the city and University of Pittsburgh, as well as everything in the world of sports, politics, entertainment, business, and tech, blah, yada, yada, yada.
Now, don't go around meddling in other people's business and have a golden weekend, just like Team USA over in Milan. With Pitt to the Point, I'm Ryan Tarabokia.
And I'm Lucy Landy. We'll see you next week.